Did I ask for your wibble?
Oh.
He
Okay.
forgot already.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah. We've already been
Brain.
streaming for about 10 seconds.
Fuck.
So welcome to a fresh session of Raxis. Last time, more social interaction. That's as specific as I'm going to get because now it's your turn to remember shit. Who remembers what the fuck and why? And with who?
I was taking Horizon West back to his place because
His lavish apartment.
yes, and he was very drunk, and the dwarf had been babysitting him all day.
And the wizard was giving educational advice.
He was being quite successfully for a while distracted from the use of his desk. And what about the rest of you fucks? Well, McGurn has just gotten home, at least.
Yeah, I brought the cat home.
And lost in a battle against Pufflesworth.
I didn't lose. It wasn't a battle.
Only so much as he constrained himself from actually.
Let me just scroll up here. Let me just show that off there. We've got 19 intimidation from Pufflesworth and 6 from Malgurn, so that's a victory. You stared at that little baby brat of an owlbear and you flinched.
If I really wanted to, that thing would be an owlbear pancake.
Yeah, but you didn't, bitch. You back down. He knows it now.
I know where he sleeps.
So he knows where you sleep. He lives above you.
Oh god, yeah, there's a hole down there.
That fucking guy.
He can become a drop bear at any moment. Webcon's worst nightmare.
No, for him, it's just a very large Kia.
Like the car? No.
The only thing that Pufflesworth needs now is the chlamydia.
He might have that. You don't know.
Oh god. I think Cornelius needs to visit the temples.
But yes, basically, it's time now for a new dawn, a new day. And no more, else we get copperhead stroke.
Cornelius, you got chlamydia? Yes. Oh, so I guess your date went well. What? No, I got bit by a fucking owlbear.
Yeah, that's... Aww.
How'd you get chlamydia? Well, it's that shit little brat. Hang on. No, the owlbear.
Hang on!
Sir, come with me.
You just find him one day rubbing his butt in your pillow.
I know we're in the fantasy world really liberal about what we call a sentient species, but we are not that liberal. Just because you can speak to animals.
Shut the fuck up. You can go sit with the other bards. That's where your kind belong now. But yes, it's a beautiful new day. Possibly. Somewhere else. Not here. Here it's fucking grey, miserable. There is rain hammering against the windows and the shutters.
That sounds amazing. Give it to us.
That's exactly the word she used on Horizon West with that same emotion. As she tries to restore his confidence. He feels so inadequate and then hears that. I hear him scratching. Yeah, it's just my wrists. Digging deeper.
Oh god.
So the day begins. Rain, did you choose to stay at Horizon's apartment or did you go back home?
Yeah, I would have stayed.
And so, you have a lovely place to wake up into, still with all the tchotchkes and various decorations and weird artifacts, along with a servant to actually prepare dinner, as opposed to kind of an indentured servant over at the ex-whorehouse. Well, any of you want to put a foot forward? I can't say, and you wake up, and you wake up, and you lay on for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see if Raid was going to do anything or not.
Oh, I thought we were starting with the whorehouse.
Might as well. There's more of them.
All right. Well, I suppose it's Cornelius' time to wake up in the morning.
Yes, with 10 minutes of getting preened and prepped by Droop, of course. Everything's laid out.
Mm-hmm. As expected. Good job.
Of course, as we just established, he doesn't actually help him get dressed, but he stands there to make sure it's being done.
Yes, because he can't actually reach.
Yeah. He's kind of useless.
Well, he can at least make sure that the shoes are shined and laid out.
Of course, everything else is like once the proper clothes are on, the bed clothes are folded up, cleaned, put away, and the door, of course, is opened for him.
Of course.
Indeed.
Now but I'm guessing Cornelius is the first to have woken up today.
You're assuming Zazzle slept at this point.
Oh yeah, I guess. Is Sasul still up?
Zazzle's up and slowly vibrating, trying to organize everything to go and getting absolutely nothing done. Oh, I need that. No, I need. Must save Zazzle.
Sometimes
okay?
Wolfgang looks at the pile he's amassing and just waits until Zarzul's out of the way and just puts one little box in a slightly different place to see if Zarzul thinks he's now forgotten it and has to go get another one.
Are you okay, Sarsul? You're up early.
Yes. Must plan. Must organize.
There is someone partially as frayed looking sitting at the table beside Zarzul. It's Orbinson sipping at a coffee.
Oh, good morning, Owenson.
Nah. Because he's been up for hours.
Hours.
It's okay, though. He stopped with the noisy stuff.
The noisy stuff?
As his foot gestures to a load of little pots and pans and silverware that have just been mounded up by the kobold for some reason. Like, he was carrying that stuff back and forth. I think he changed it out maybe twice, 3 times. It was noisy.
Sasul, have you had breakfast?
Yes, we'll need breakfasts. How many breakfasts? Oh.
Okay, Sasul, sit down for a moment. Sasul, sit. As I try to grab hold of him, I imagine he's just keep rocking back and forth.
Just always gotta be busy. You see his head nearly wrap around 270 degrees to keep talking to you at times.
Yeah, I try to grab Sasul and direct him towards the table to sit down for just a moment.
Okay. Zazzle sits down and there sounds like a humming sound coming from the chair as it vibrates.
All right, now calm down, Sasul.
Yes. Zazzle pulls out a small bit of pipe weed and sort of tries to get it in the pipe.
Orbinson assists. It takes a lot less time than usually whenever Zarzul's doing it.
All right, so what exactly is happening here, Sasul? I've never seen you this wound up.
There's a Zazzle at the diamond mine. We must save him.
Ah, yes, of course. But you're gonna need to calm down. It's gonna take a while before we get there.
He's gonna be like this for more than a week.
He won't be quite as bad once we get actually moving. At the moment,
Yeah, so he has somewhere to actually focus his energy. Yeah, I recognize the kind of nervous energy. Does Sasul actually stop vibrating at this point after sucking down, or is it just only slightly?
He's starting to slow the vibrations down.
All right. Now, Sasul, when was the last time you ate?
Yesterday
Oh, okay.
morning.
All right. Okay. Dope. can you please make some of the?
I'm on it.
Good job.
Because looking at
What?
Zarzul has made him nervous too. And then, just because the rest of you are lazy fuckers, emerges from the room the glorious, incandescently bright beacon of heroism that is Congrats. He wakes up in a way that no one else in this group does. Perfect. There is nothing slack-eyed about him. He is clean, he is shining, he is brilliant. Some bits of him look more polished than others.
Well, good morning to you.
Aye. Morning. I keep forgetting there's... anyway. Just starts coming downstairs. Huge, heavy footfalls. And thankfully a pair of trousers.
Yes, I do not need to see his dragonborn.
I mean, it's basically Castalia's horde at this point. But once he hears the clacking and various cacophony the Droop is making in the kitchen, he sees that's where he's got to go. I'll lend a hand for the victuals, huh?
I mean, you could just... I'm sure Droop has everything under control.
Little bro, you look tweaked out, as he heads off anyway.
Well, don't worry, Sasul. Soon enough, we'll be on the road once again.
Yes. Let's get on the road.
Say, did you see if Rain returned home last night?
Rain. No, I don't think so.
Looks over at Wolfgang instead.
Wolfgang shakes his head.
Well, I suppose he must have been staying with Beth, our furry friend.
Friend.
That's a horrible accusation to make, man. How do you know he's a furry?
Well,
He could be one of these skinnies, man. Only gets his rocks off of people. Twisted, decadent things that they are.
ugh.
What?
Horrible, twisted creatures that they are.
Oh yeah. If he's fetishistly interested in people, wouldn't that make him a skinny? You can't just call him a humie. And they tend to do it by texture and skin and hide and surface. Or is he a fleshy?
Ugh. Let's go away from the subject.
Oh,
just
of course he's a dermer.
No, let's just assume Castalia's gone down. Good morning, Castalia. Let's get away from the subject as far as possible.
I was about to go down.
Yeah, I was just hurrying along. I do not want to linger on this subject any longer.
All right. It would take a few moments, but Castalia descends down the staircase wearing tunic and trousers and a comfortable pair of shoes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. To you.
Morning. Is it morning?
It is morning. The sun is up. Are you all right?
Yes. I think.
I place one of my hands on his shoulders. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes.
All right. Just make sure to speak up if something's bothering you.
Cornelius just looks, trying to make sure eye contact with Castalia and just shakes his head.
If you put your hand on him, you can feel his little heartbeat going a mile a minute.
I look to Cornelius. What is bothering him then?
Well, I believe the news of another Sasul has kind of...
Oh, yes, the other Zarzul at the mining
yeah.
location. We're heading out for that today, aren't we?
Well, I suppose we should getting the expedition together, but we should probably leave a note for the royal quarters so they at least know that we will be leaving for a while.
True, and I suppose I should do my rounds for various people to be told.
Though I do believe that we were also supposed that Aragon would be around at some point, but I haven't heard about. I suppose he wasn't around here when I was gone.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take that as a no, as you and Sasul were about the only one at home.
No, I don't think he showed up at all.
Hmm.
That is a little troubling as well.
Well, he did respond to my message recently, and he did say very briefly, "Okay," so I would assume that he's all right.
Do you
But
know if Malgern maybe saw him?
well, I met Malgern outside when I was coming home, so I would assume that he has not been home when it was.
Oh, has he not? Did he stay the night here?
Malgern? Yeah,
Yeah.
we came in at the same time.
Has he been down yet?
Is Malgern coming out, or is he still in his room?
Yeah, he can start coming out now. No, wait. Somebody say my name.
Oh, it was me. I was wondering if you had stayed the night here.
Yes, while the rest of you are all worrying about your attachments and things that you have to give advance notice on, there's someone who only lives purely for the moment, emerging from a room that smells of cat, a very large, angry, messy cat, and then also dwarf, which is an even worse smell,
Not cat and alcohol.
and quite a bit of shame.
Hey.
But this time with a tinge of smugness at the cost of someone else's confidence.
Oh God!
For he was told that someone could never measure themselves up to him. And that's never happened before.
Yeah. It's okay. It was all a dream. It was all a dream, Malgern. Yeah. It was a very bad dream.
Did Adagoon stop by, Malgern?
Not that I you know what, I don't remember, but I need to get a drink.
Well, try to keep a clear head. We're going on an expedition today.
Yeah, what do you think the drink's for?
Steady your nerves to wake up to.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'm just enabling him, aren't I, Cornelius?
I mean,
enabling him would be telling Cornelius to stock the belt with some extra bottles.
it does remind me I should probably pick up a couple of bottles of wine before we leave.
For morale purposes.
Got something planned, or just want to have a few spare spirits?
Well, after our last trip, I did notice that we were kind of lacking in something more flavorful than just our dry rations. It would be probably also wise to see if we could pick up some spices along the way, since, well, I, of course, am not in such a big trouble as the rest of you, but there is something about, using actual spices than just the magical flavoring.
You say that, but it's been so long now, you've all forgotten. Castelia has magical seasonal flavoring.
Yeah, I was just about to
right, yeah,
I can literally produce any spices we want.
I forgot about that completely.
But it never gets used, apart from the time she salted a rock rub. Bleh. Which did half as much damage as a level 1 spell from Cornelius. And that was only because the rock rub choked on a soul crystal.
Yeah, that's say but no.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about that.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Thunderwave, heard for 500 feet in all directions, 2 damage.
2 fucking ones.
2 maggots burst. The rest of the swarm, fine.
Well, if you need some spice, I'll head into the kitchen and help whoever is in there.
Well, Congrats and Droop is there in the moment.
Oh, wonderful. And so I head to the kitchen to help spice up breakfast.
Ah! Comes the shriek of a goblin.
I'm sure it's fine.
Is it fine? Do I
Well,
have
as
to
you
roll
enter,
perception to
as
see
you
if
enter
it's
the
fine?
as you enter the kitchen, you see that Kagratz is looking slightly annoyed, but also ashamed, and trying to grab at a flailing Droop's hand. No, it's fine. It's just I was grabbing a pan, and then he thought he'd also grab it without realizing I'm fire resistant.
Oh, oh God!
Give it here. It'll be fine. Give it here, Droop.
Poor Drew.
Calm down, Droop. Just calm down.
Actually, it doesn't hurt that bad. I've had worse.
Oh God! It's true.
Just natural
You
reaction.
see it in his big eyes as he remembers all the times he got it worse.
Oh no.
You can see a reflection of Cornelius going unconscious alongside him as ice smashes around you.
Oh no.
The screen slowly loses color. as
I
his
have had
flashbacks.
worse. On the bright side, breakfast is going along well. There's a scraping. Then there's a
God.
thud. From Malgern's room emerges a meek-looking Lorna, and then Pufflesworth with his chest out proud,
Oh heck.
and his face slightly dented.
Malgern lifts his head up from his drink and just makes a rude face in the owlbear's direction.
He is staring at you to a point where his head continually sticks in your direction as he just pads around to look for a warm spot to lay in.
That's Pufflesworth.
He gets the advantage because he beat you last night, Malgern.
That's that.
You gonna go for it?
Yeah.
Hang on. Seeing this, just gonna lightly touch Malgern and give him guidance or
You need-
whatever the hell it is.
You need assistance.
Oh, roll a 1d4.
Oh, right. So it's just add a D4.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Barely.
That's all I needed. I'm gonna roll a 1. That's the best place to roll it.
He bristles and hisses before going back to just napping.
I return to the drink. I also start looking
I've done
around
my
for,
good
like,
deed
bread
for
or
the day.
something with this drink.
So, something you need, Tally?
Speaking of drink.
No, I'm just, we're not getting this out quick enough.
No. Cornelius was just commenting that perhaps we need more spices. So I brought in my handy spice bag.
Oh. What is Samuel? Actually, that's great. Yeah. I could see about getting a bit, like a bag or two more.
No, I mean, you just say the spice you need, and you can pretty much have it.
It's a very useful magical item.
It's a dangerous thing to let Congrats know about.
Why?
Well, I mean, he could just say Sriracha and have Sriracha.
All right then.
Perfect for needing something spicy for yourself or something for someone else.
Well, I got my space a bit. Huh? Oh. We'll get the breakfast trotted out soon enough. That's great.
All right.
Congrats will not be explaining that to Drew when he's older. He's not his dad.
Yeah, cornhole.
Or is he? Bum bum bum.
The worst part is to explain that stuff. Cornelius will have to sit down with Droop and listen to somebody else. What's your first-hand experience? Well, a devil touched my leg.
She kept touching the leg.
She made me an offer I couldn't refuse either. What, bed with her? No, a teaching position. I could have got tenure.
Fuck.
Basically.
I'm going to put my foot down now. I'm going to say I want at least 3 elven students.
What? Why?
You always get easy results with them. They know magic to begin with.
I need 4 grad students, at least 2 of them Elvish. Yeah. Went Futurama, yeah.
What do I care? I have tenure.
Can you do something about that? I would, but he's got tenure.
Oh, such a good show.
Definitely one of the better written episodes.
It's the best episode because Fry has one of his dumbest moments where he fails to push a button.
I mean...
In the commentary, they said they had issues with that. They were thinking, is he really that dumb? And they said, yes, he is. Then, of course, there's a later part in one of the war episodes where he just, or every dumb episode is, okay, now I just need to jump the fence, kick the guard, and steal the plane. Wait, that isn't me.
Come on, Fry. What?
I just remember the one where they had to launch the garbage pile.
That's
to
it.
counter the garbage pile. Where he has to push the button and he misses the fucking bullseye.
That's the exact episode we were talking about, yeah.
Okay.
It's just one finger forward, just oops.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Rena. Rain is once again in that luxurious apartment. And, you know, it's a nice way to wake up anyway, with hands running through cat fur. Especially when it's been perfumed and groomed.
And it's a cold, rainy day as well.
So is he finally awake and not completely piss drunk?
He looks a very sad cat. Like the ears are down, the eyes are wincing. There is it's in the washroom. A small bottle, green label, has root in it. I need that, please. Oh.
I figured. I go to get the hangover meds.
It is an astounding collection in that cabinet. This is an apothecary's lifelong collection you are witnessing before you. And a few things you think you saw on the shelves of that strange exotic goods store. Nothing's pickled, but a few things look familiar.
I go get what he asked and bring it back.
Very carefully, he slices a few bits of the bark off, replaces some of the water in the jar, and starts to gnaw on it. Ah, yes, my head is no longer like the seas. It is a lovely grass field. Ah. He just leans it against you anyway.
I was about to say, I think you had a little bit to drink last night.
And Malgern could confirm it was a little bit.
Yeah, if he hears this, you'll hear him just, yeah, emphasis on little. Takes on a drink.
Well, too bad we're in a different house.
Yeah.
Oh, right, he didn't stay. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is just Malgern happens to be talking about his events last day.
I should never... It is always foolish when I do that. I should not have taught her one on so long. Malgern and I, we went from bar to bar.
I look amused because I'm pretty sure by now I figured out how little alcohol it takes. So I'm like, uh-huh.
He reaches for his coin purse. Oh, well, your friend was generous. I have spent very little, it seems.
She knows that's a lie.
How did you two meet up?
I saw him on the bar, street, You can see he's really trying to work the brain for a bit. He reaches across and starts to dig his claws in on the bed frame.
Oh god.
We met on the street. I was not at my happiest, and then I was accosted by some street thugs. I think he bashed them away. Then he took me to the theater. We saw a wonderful show and had a few more drinks. We talked for so long. He is a wonderful man.
She's trying very hard to keep a straight face at that.
I was gonna say, how does Rain feel about it?
He let me just let out all of my stress and problems. He listened to me. He was so giving, so caring.
Oh fuck.
She is trying very hard to have a straight face.
And the problem is not you. It is me. It is all me in this one. I am not good enough for you.
What are you talking about?
Even now that I've cleared my head, I know it. You talk of such amazing things and feats and adventures, and I have none of that. I have played with swords on tables with other paid fools. I have been a dandy. I am not a hero like Malgern or you.
Horizon. Are you sure you're not still drunk?
No, I'm just feeling a bit dramatic and vulnerable.
Well, I give him a hug. Look. You've done plenty of stuff. You have told me all of the stuff that you have done.
Could you tell me some of it again?
Help, that was like 18 years ago. I do remember something about the fucking expedition. I remember there was an expedition, so I would probably tell that one, because that's the only thing on the top of my head I remember. If you recall, at the time, Rain was not into this.
I just like your term of helpless was 18 years ago. It has been 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, she would probably recount that the expedition that he went on.
Then I ran away like a coward with the others.
Oh, hush. You know, the best thing to know when to do is to go the opposite direction. Not everything is about completely smashing in a bad guy. Sometimes you have to go the other direction.
Sure.
I mean, I'll be entirely blunt. We have not always fixed the problem entirely. I can think of one or two times where people have gone away and we have not fixed it, but sometimes that happens.
Yes, I know all of what you've told me of what the Cornelius has not been able to do.
No, it's not just Cornelius, it's everybody. we had the I don't even want to get into the necromancer incident.
I don't know. Castellian and Zarzul have been pretty A-okay on that. Except that necromancer, that one necromancer. Who was going to show up in Saltmarsh. Just to show that her luck has not gotten better since she was chased away by a bunch of shitty goblins.
I am still depressed that she did not show up.
Well, not on that island.
But Horizon, everybody does different things. And you do a lot of stuff that I can't do.
I'm so tempted to do another cat thing now. Like, this would be when she says, you do a lot of things I can't do, and she just looks over and sees the leg up. The big weird leg straight up. But I was thinking maybe I could try.
Try what?
To To be as good a man as Malgern.
She takes a moment and goes, and she's visibly trying to figure out how to say things. Okay. I'd like to point out that Malgern puts what he wants to be seen forward. So even Malgern isn't always like you've seen him. He's not.
You could tell him the truth.
Sometimes he ends up failing too. And sometimes things don't go the way that he plans on it. And there are some things he's certainly not very good at, which explains how he got thrown out of the arena, but that's beside the other point. Like, he has a temper that he hasn't quite gotten under control, and he can be sometimes.
Why was he
temper
thrown out of the
tantrums.
arena?
You were drunk then. You don't remember that.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
He got into a bar fight, threw the tosser, accidentally hit somebody else.
Was that the man who struck you? Was he defending your honor?
No. That was no. So point is, I resurrected the guy who died, and then he got kicked out. So that's how he got temporarily banned from the arena, and that's the only reason he wasn't permanently banned, because I fixed it.
Oh. I suppose it's an exuberance. It's just... Perhaps he was simply drunk. It makes all kinds of bad decisions go.
He wasn't drunk yet. That was sober. Malgern makes better decisions drunk than sober sometimes.
And I am definitely not like him in one regard. I have never...
Alcohol is just interesting.
I seem to get into these horrible spirals of far too many drinks, and then the evening is just full of nothing of regrets I'm told at by in the morning. I once lost this beautiful cloak. It was a gorgeous pattern from some beast of Chult. It was amazing. I have never seen that again because of getting drunk. One night it was just gone.
Alcohol tends to do that. I don't want to recount how many times I've had to take Zarzul back after he lost all of his stuff and his coin.
There's still a drow assassin's dagger floating around somewhere in the black market of Raxis because of that.
Yep.
You're lucky you didn't lose the bow.
I would have been annoyed at that.
I imagine so, yes. Luckily it just looks like a sharp piece of rock. We should... But yes, I was thinking, we should also get ready. Meet the day. Oh, it is a bright sun. It's fucking grey out there. There's no sunlight.
Horizon, I'm gonna point out, I like you how you are. Okay?
How I am is but a craven.
No, you're not.
I am a kitten in this great world. You have seen and experienced. I have done none of that, and I need to stop that. I need to be more of...
You've seen, you've experienced, and furthermore, more importantly, you're a good person.
Well, I am that, yes.
That is the most important thing out of the lot.
I can't take credit for that, though. That was my father, that was my brother. We were a good family. Unless you include business, then it just falls apart. But... Yes, I know this, but I still need to be more. I can't just be a nice fellow. It's good that I am, but... I should be an adventurer at least once.
Only if it's because you want to be. Not because you want to live up to some sort of stereotype or whatnot, or because you feel like you have to. It depends on what you want to do. I mean, I know I probably wouldn't have done 90% of this if things had gone correctly in my life. So, I mean...
As you get a quick flashback to the library, to the altar, to the slab. The recitations. And the trial.
But what matters is what makes you happy. And cat, for the love of fuck, get off of there. Thank you. Sorry,
It's
not
my
the
bed.
cat that I'm talking to.
He's not a cat.
No, you can actually say he is a cat.
Well, no, see, if he was a cat, he would just look at her like, "Who the fuck are you to telling me to get off something?"
Just pushes her off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sorry, the cat got on my table and he knows better. But yeah, point is, you do what you want that'll make you happy, not what you feel like you have to do to live up to some expectation or whatever. Everyone has different bits to play.
I
And
just
sometimes
I just know I have to do more. If one of these problems comes back for you, what am I? I am a bystander in the crowd.
no, you're my support system.
Not sure if that's the best thing to say.
Yeah, system
You're my
is
scaffolding.
No, it's like,
You're the person who supports me. Not
yeah, you're the person who yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Some kind of parental figure that's sweet.
No, it's like,
I don't
You're-
think he's the sugar daddy.
no, he's not. The
I
sugar
guess
daddy.
there's two kinds of daddy after all.
Because I mean,
Doom.
yeah, but she would just kind of be like, yeah, just because all of that stuff is not entirely pleasant, and it's really difficult to go through all of that on your own.
But what sort of man would I be to let my fiancée just stand there alone?
Huh?
I'm getting ahead
She's
of
li-
myself.
I'm-
It was a slip.
I will be entirely honest. I was just shocked that you didn't run the other direction screaming with that news.
Well, I did crawl into a bottle or two, but I put that down as a failing, not a natural instinct. That was me being a coward.
No, you're not a coward.
Which honestly surprised me considering what I've fought off with you by my side. That horrible thing of whirling blades.
Oh, those things were absolutely wretched.
So I think I have it in me. I think I could be something more.
I kind of give him a hug and just go, you need to figure out what will make you happy for you. Not worrying about other people's expectations, but what you feel you need to do and what's right for you.
Well, I have to care a little a bit about people's expectations and my reputation. After all, it's what I rely on for a good introduction. When people think Horizon West, they should think fondly.
True.
Yes,
That's not very hard, though. You're a nice person.
I will have to do the usual apologies, though. I hope I remember what bars I've been to. I might check in with your friend Malgern to retrace my steps and give what is owed to the people. No doubt I have made a mess of their establishments.
I think Malgern's got it covered. Malgern's covered it.
No, I could not ask him to have such a burden of mine on his shoulders. He does not deserve that. He's a fine man.
I think he's okay with it. Trust me, I assure you. I think it's already been handled.
And I need to reimburse him. He obviously spent quite a lot on the drinks.
Eh.
I should at least cover my own half of the bill.
Well, he might have also got plenty for free.
Anyway. So your evening your morning begins, you can head out, rejoin the rest of the party if you wish, or enjoy in the rest of the city.
Yeah, I'd probably head back to the house after I split off.
As for you lot. On the door.
Right, on the door?
Yes, a knock on the door.
Oh, okay. I just heard on the door, so I didn't hear a knock on the door. Okay.
Really? I didn't go through?
Hmm. Could that be?
Who opens the door?
Cornelius I was about to say, Cornelius expectedly still sitting, expecting someone else to open the door.
He's the one who
Oh,
says
God,
it, though, as
open
the
the
rest of the
door.
lazy fucks also continue sitting there.
I'm already standing. I will go and open the door.
I'm on it! I'm on it!
You stay in the kitchen and help finish up breakfast.
My hand doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh,
No, because of lay on hands.
All right, I open the door. Yes?
You see, basically a human peacock. This is a man in far too much finery, with no real coordination of it, just that there's a lot. You are seeing a dazzling quantity of colors. You are seeing various patterns. You are seeing sequins, jewels, spangly dangling bracelets. And behind him you see someone even more ridiculously dressed who's got a sullen expression on his face. Ah, yes, good evening. Good morrow. How do you
Yes.
do?
I am doing quite well, thank you.
That is most excellent to hear. Hang on a second, I forgot to get this notepad out. Because fuck memorizing some of these names. This was in character bits. Yes, there we go.
As you said, this guy dressed like a peacock is standing and talking to the tiefling that's basically standing in her pajama bottoms.
No, she's fully dressed for business. Like she said, tunic and trousers and boots.
Oh yeah, but like relaxed wear.
Yeah. Yes,
That's how I understood it.
Yes, dear lady, I am a representative of the Ferris household. You have performed a great deed for our household at the return of our favored son Hennig.
How is he?
He is improving, I have been told.
Wonderful.
But most importantly, such a boon must be rewarded, for he is one of the few to have returned in safe condition. And the family would not let such a debt go unpaid.
All right. Would you care to come in?
Oh, yes, indeed, as he takes a look back at the other, what you're guessing is a herald, and makes sure that the door is closed. Yes, now, we are able to give quite a boon being a very powerful family, the Ferris. However, we do not know the measure of his rescuers. At this point, Rain, you have to walk past the very pompous-looking page to knock on the door to get in yourself.
I would assume I could let myself in.
No, the key's still in the door.
Oh.
He made sure
Well,
it was properly locked.
Well, you are moving through fairly high circles. This is Mr. Cornelius Sent.
Yeah, at this point, Cornelius was walking up when he saw who was actually at the door. Yeah, basically, I imagine...
The problem is, though, as you get up and sort everything out to make sure everything's real, you look to see what you fucking got from the morning of the kobold and the dwarf. Like, Malagurn's beard is probably quite lopsided at this point, with all kinds of things sticking in it, like big, weird, spiraling black hairs from his displacer beast. Not to mention, there's a displacer beast in the room as well. And there's your buzzing, in two ways, kobold. With a small, sweet-smelling cloud still lingering around him.
Yes, good morning. We were not exactly expecting such esteemed visitors at this time of day.
Well, we had to make sure of the address, sir, to confirm all details. But yes, we believed early in the morning was a good time to meet. And as I said, I am merely a representative. But the family have sent me to negotiate a proper reward.
Negotiate, even?
It's a strong term to be put on. The simple fact is, sometimes coin is not enough. Sometimes gems have no value. Perhaps it might even be a discreet sentence with a question mark on the end. I'm sure you understand.
I believe. So, what exactly do you yourself have in mind?
Well, as I can see from his establishment, perhaps some creature comforts. Or a subsidization of your basic sustenance.
Subsidization, yes.
Subsidization of your sustenance. Or perhaps something fine to wear when next asked to a ball from the boar hens and such.
That is certainly tempting.
With a small caveat that while it is perfectly fine to say that you were the rescuers of Henrik Ferris, for you were indeed, to not speak of his condition, to not spread that knowledge around, some would be quite what's the right word? Opportunistic with that information.
Of course, I fully understand that it is improper to speak of another person's condition.
Exactly, sir, exactly. I'm glad you understand. As he looks to the ones behind you and sees that they probably don't. At least from what his expression says about them.
Just to remember, was he the knight amongst the second party, or was he one of the ones with that was carved up?
He was the one that was carved up.
Ugh.
Him and Ulis.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cornelius is not just gonna start talking about
Whereas Rain has. She conversed with a necromancer about it.
Yeah.
On the bright side,
yeah, but
he
that was
already
a bit
knew.
different.
It is different. Yeah. It is very different, yes.
Well, Cornelius also talked about it, but not in quite as much detail.
Yeah, not in public. Not to the general masses.
Speaking of the matter, how is he and his compatriot?
I cannot confirm official information for the Grenebid family, although there is one of my esteemed colleagues outside who will update you, but for now, I have the floor. But yes, there is improvement.
Not good, because I was worried how they would be handling the situation. It was quite nasty.
Yes, it was most distressing to his family.
I would imagine it would be distressing to many people.
But I have been... what's the correct wordage for it, really? Empowered to bequeath you a modest sum. Some 600 gold coins. But if you wish for something more nebulous or precise, it is also quite acceptable.
Well, if there is no time schedule upon this offering, would you perhaps mind if we were to take a time to think about this very let me just think about the word.
Yeah, I know, it's always tough when you're dealing with these upper class twits.
Yeah.
As you heard from my spiel.
About this very generous offer.
Yes, of course, sir. On the stipulation, of course, if you do accept a reward, it would be from us first. Proprietary and all.
I shall take it into consideration, of course.
See his brow and nose wrinkle a little bit at that. But a hand is offered, gloved.
I take it.
A very slight shake. Due to your rough and tumble months, Cornelius, you barely even feel it. He seems to have distaste. There's almost calluses on your hand.
Yeah.
From all that writing.
Cornelius does feel a little bit ashamed of this, like, the callousness that's started to form from his hands from having to rough it for the last couple of months.
in his magically conjured cabin with his servant magically providing furniture. All those times he's had to cast Magic Hand. God, he's getting workman's wrists.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so is Rain knocking at this point? Or has he gone around the back?
Oh no, he
I
does.
would be knocking.
Yeah, so he waits for his turn at the front door. And whenever Rain steps through, he very quickly steps behind you to stop the other herald from getting up to the door yet. Waiting until it's closed before he walks away. But now Rain's here.
Ah, come on, Rain.
Good morning. How is the day? I look around because I clearly have noticed stuff is happening.
Is the Herald still inside, or
No, like I
did
said, he
he-
slips out behind Rain
Okay.
And,
And-
the other herald.
and intentionally blocks the door. The other herald is
Yeah.
still waiting outside, yes.
Did we notice the heralds, or is it only Rain that notices another herald
I mean,
outside?
only Castalia and Rain would really know there's another dude waiting.
I would mention that there's another guy.
Oh, well, bring them inside then.
They didn't seem too friendly with each other.
Well,
No,
It is exactly the same encounter, except he's saying he's the herald of the Grenebbit family. The way he talks sounds like he's the brother of the dude you just dealt with. Although they don't look anything alike. But the mannerisms and the cadence of his speak is identical.
I ask the same questions if they're
Exactly the
whether
same
it's okay.
responses.
yeah.
Even the reward is 600 gold.
So 1,200 gold in general if we just accepted a gold reward.
If he just accept the cash.
Yeah.
But don't you want the mystery box?
It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
You could even ask for a lesser cousin. That could be your way in, Cornelius. I mean, just think of that as a bank reward before you try for the great risk of the boarhen.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So, have you heard any about the rest of the Borhen's daughter and her escort? If they were doing okay?
Inasmuch as I am allowed to say officially, sir, they are all fine and on the way to improvement.
Well, that's good to hear.
For a discretionary note, the reason that such an envoy has not yet been sent to you is apparently they are making sure that she is fully recovered before making any kind of public appearance.
Of course, understandable. Well, as we are about to commence another expedition onto the outside of Raxis, would you terribly mind telling them letting them know back there that we are not to be reached for probably a couple of weeks? Or
That is certainly-
could you take a message with you? If that is the more.
Zarzul, what's going on behind Cornelius's back?
Zazzle is now asleep, face down on the table.
So you're saying this, and then you just hear the of a head hitting table.
Slowly hitting it was a
Was it
gradual
gentle?
thing. It wasn't a thump.
I like to imagine it's him hitting it pipe first and then sliding down on the mouthpiece of it. Because he's got that because he's got that long cobalt snout, so that doesn't even get to it near his throat. That's still just against the tongue.
Yes. Do not mind him. He had a long night.
One of them. Do you have any specific information you want to know? You want to tell them on your destination or your deeds being done?
I think
not at the moment.
yes, I believe that once we will return, there should be more information. So far, it is more of a investigation of rumors, so to speak. Maybe not even worth anything.
Very well, sir.
But I do appreciate that you take this back.
Of course. Have a good day, the lot of you.
You as well.
You as well.
This
Said my
one does.
regards.
This one does not shake your hand, but he does leave. And as he leaves, you see that there is a third envoy in the doorway.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This one is also like a peacock, but a very small peacock, for it is a kobold in the same raiment.
Boy.
Oh, hello. Is he not entirely sure if he's talking to a sir or a madam?
As he speaks, he keeps looking back at the leaving envoy. I am the herald of... And then he sees he's gone, and he quickly steps inside the doorway, closes the door. I am here in the behest of Lord Renenbach.
Ah, yes.
Yes, we know.
Hello.
What? How do you know? My disguise was perfect.
It is
You're-
I, Leclerc.
Jean Parmesan, how are you doing?
Lucky guess.
Ah, well,
I'm
I can
psychic.
start getting rid of this. I am here to be your escort to show you the way.
The mines,
Oh.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's certainly a service.
But of course, we're to say there's nothing wrong at the mines.
No, there is a lot wrong at the mines right now.
Well, yes, but we're not supposed to let on that there is something wrong at the mines.
You're not even letting to know there is a mine. The mine's a very big deal.
Before we leave, do you have any suggestions as to what we should bring along?
Weapons? As many armed men as you can trust. So, this many, as he looks around the room. Don't bring any more. We don't need people to talk about this. We don't need them to find out.
Ah, yes, but I was more thinking of other equipment. If there's any specialized equipment that you believe would be in need of? One that you would usually not think about.
His head keeps tilting and tilting back. It's almost going like 190 degrees or so as his neck keeps stretching as his head goes full vertical and a bit further back. Don't know. I'm just there to show you where it is.
All right.
That is the majority of my job. The rest is telling you don't talk about the mine. We really need to keep the mine secret. Very, very important that no one knows about the mine. Especially those peacocks out there.
Know about the mine as in there is a mine, or know about the mine in as its current condition?
Both.
All right, then. Then we're going to...
Well, do not worry. We have not let them on as to why we are leaving.
Well, if they ask, I guess we're going to see a relation.
Whose relation? We need to get this cover story watertight.
I point to Zarzul.
He slightly leans to one side. Oh. Okay, that makes it a really simple story then.
Yes.
Shouldn't he be getting ready to go?
Oh, he's ready.
Sort of.
He's been ready.
I don't think you're going to expect him to be of much assistance for the rest of the day, but we'll get everything ready. We'll probably put him in the back. He has had a long night.
There's another knock at the door.
It is certainly a busy day.
If I open up that door and there's more pages. So I go to open the door.
There's a lot of pages, but luckily it's from a book.
Okay, that's good.
Held by a dwarf.
Oh,
A familiar dwarf.
which dwarf?
It's being sung in Dwarven, loud, off-key, breaking at times on certain notes, and some of the lyrics are getting pretty slurred as Usain Vagoosh recites a glorious ballad. It's mostly about conflict and success, but also has an undercurrent of sexual enjoyment.
I'm very confused.
He's making
Rain
he's making up for any kind of melodic component with volume.
Oh, that's
Rain
dwarf.
looks absolutely befuddled. Malgern,
What?
come get him.
I immediately come get who? What?
You're just striding out with your hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, he comes out. He's got the hammer over one shoulder, arm up. Like, what? Come get who?
He's just
See, now,
he's just shouting out these lyrics.
now I can just imagine is John's response of trained attack dwarf.
I mean, you've also got the other angle with what? Come get him. He's definitely got the butt flap open on his long johns kind of look.
Come on, let's get him. See, I was enjoying it.
At which point, Zarzul wakes up because you called his name.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Oh, it's too early for. Just make him leave.
But I think he's here to see you.
He hasn't said hello or anything. He's got his eyes closed, just bellowing out this song.
Just no.
He's singing in Dwarvish.
Luckily, 90% of the party knows Dwarvish.
Yeah,
including me.
No.
Yeah, but he's about the. Malgurn's the only one he's shown any interest in.
No, I just love how we flip flop from that with Saltmarsh, the side story crew, who no one knows Dwarvish. To the point that they have to bring along a hideously abused NPC with them to read.
Oh, poor Wolverting.
Yes.
Whipperting has a fantastically fucking tragic backstory too. Yeah. He's a completely practical dwarf, but he raised by gnomes. Everything was frivolous and constantly tinkered with and silly. He just wanted to have a fucking hammer. Didn't want to have a shaving attachment and a magnifying glass.
And then he had the Mudman.
Yeah, the Mudman. The worst chapter of his life.
Jesus fucking yeah, I remember I regretted listening in on that because holy shit, that was a horror show.
It could have been worse. The first thing he tried to do was bite off his nose.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what part I heard.
The nice side is the Mudman's left testicle will never recover.
One day there's just going to be a detective agency with Wolperting and Droop.
What's it just called? The Abused Men?
Yep.
We'll find the source of your problem because we know ours.
Yeah.
No. Whipperting's epilogue is very simple. It's a bag of coins being slid to Simon. Find this man and kill him.
Done.
But yes, you still have a very, very loud, off-tone dwarf singing in front of your home.
Yeah, Malgurn turns and walks away.
So just like any other problem in Malgurn's life.
Yeah, can't someone else do it?
Rain deadpans and says, Horizon said you were brave and yet you're running away from a guy singing the songs on a step.
Can I help you, sir?
Tossing eyes.
Hi there.
Hi. May I help you?
I don't think so. He just walks away.
Wait, who are you talking to?
All right, then.
Who's you talking to?
Ushane.
That was Ushane.
Oh. Okay. This is fine.
There's another knock at the door.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I open the door.
It's Ushane again.
Hello, Shane.
Oh. You know who I is then?
Yes.
Lots of people have been calling me that. Hi.
Hi, can we help you?
What do you do?
Alright, back again.
I adventure and kill things.
Oh, I don't need any of that.
Well, what do you need then?
He starts checking his pockets, patting stuff on his shirt. He's wearing exactly the same kind of broken up armor that he was during the bout in the arena. It looks a little bit grimier. You know where the arena is?
Yes, it's down that way, and then I give him the directions.
You show me?
Sure, I'll take you. I just go to take him.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And then there's the craven coward in the fucking whorehouse.
For once, he's not talking about me.
No, I am. It's
Yeah,
exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, whorehouse.
The elf is taking your paramour to home because apparently he forgot where his fucking home is.
That's fine. Whatever. Not my problem.
He drops the book as you're walking.
I pick it back up.
You wounded that dwarf harder than when you beat him.
You not only beat his body, you beat his heart. His poor heart.
It's his heart's got nothing to do with it. His mind is mush.
That's just sad.
Like, this wasn't Malgern that did this. He just took another blow to the head, and this is him gone. He's been in more fights since the naval combat.
Poor guy. But not my problem.
That sums up Malgern pretty well as an adventurer. Shows up at town as a problem. Wow, you poor guys. Not my day. Not my issue.
Oh, shit, the tavern's on fire. Well,
I mean, if it was my problem, I'd solve this, but you do you.
Yeah.
Do you glance through the book, or just keep carrying it?
I'd glance through it.
Of course you would, yeah.
It's,
do you even have to ask?
It's a melange of various topics. Quite nicely done and very good script. Looks pretty old, too. And, you flick through. You don't really go too detailed, because, this isn't like it's forbidden knowledge. This is just some dude's probably personal property. And he's still alive, so you don't have the adventure instinct to just go through it all immediately. Gotta wait until you've killed him first before that. You do spot a recurring surname, though.
What's the surname?
Peregrine.
Huh.
A few times you check it, and eventually you build up the quick image after a few more pages. He's his Ushane is his nephew.
What? She looks baffled.
Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces you put together through his quick skimming. Because it's mostly a diary, but in a dwarven way, it's serving other purposes too. He used to be quite eloquent. A few battle poems, some hymns. Along with complaints about how his family has cut off Caragrim. Because he's a filthy tusk lover. A coward in battle.
That's fair.
Malgern, racism? That's okay if it's against orcs.
And elves.
No, elves aren't people.
Yeah, they don't count as people. That's just being way too attached to your pet. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
They're elves, so it's not manslaughter.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly.
It's just a good old-fashioned murder.
Yeah.
Murder.
You killed that elf by accident. That's manslaughter. Why do you give it such a filthy term? It were a murder.
Yeah, he should have just stood there and let me beat the shit out of him.
But yeah, as you flip through the book, it becomes a lot clearer in tone because there's less words being used. And then the spelling gets erratic, and then the writing gets quite erratic.
Oh,
the margins are all over the place.
They made him draw a clock a few times, and he got one of the letters on the wrong side.
So he's... Yeah, so this is pretty much chronicling his lack of brain.
Very recent. Like the last 10 years. I mean, you don't get the impression he was some beautiful person or ever. There's a lot of foul language and unpleasantness as well, but yeah, definitely less of a dude.
It's like he was there and now he's not there.
And the only thing you see in the recent pages really are just rough sort of guesses at when he should be at the arena.
Oh no.
You know, like where the sun should be.
Oh boy.
No mention of
Yeah,
Malgern.
Huh. Rainey's gonna file this away for later.
I hope you mean you're filing the information away for later and not just putting his book in your bag.
Yeah, she's filing the information away. She's not stealing his book.
We have
Yeah.
to check when it comes to Rain. And
He's
yeah,
not walking away with his book yet.
Yet.
the arena this early in the day is closed, but when you get there, he takes the book, says thank you, and just sits at the door.
Have a good day. I hope you win big.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. I almost feel bad.
She
Almost.
turns and leaves.
So how's the rest of the people going?
Well, that was certainly a interesting event.
It's not all dick jokes.
Certainly not one you expect this early.
What'd you expect from the guy?
Rain would come and tell everybody the entirety of what she read in that book.
Wow, you just read a guy's journal right beside him? Who does that?
To be fair, I don't think he cared.
It
I'm
sounds
not
like he's
sure if that's the point.
Sounds like he's had it pretty rough.
Are you going to do that if you find anything of ours in the mine?
No.
Can you promise that?
Well, unless it's important.
That's not encouraging.
I was about to say, I think Rena is going to have to make a deception roll here.
Well, no, she's literally saying, I mean, if it looks like it's something that'll tell us what's going on in the mine.
I'm here for that. And so are the living kobolds that are bound to still be there.
I'm talking about down where the problem is.
Yes, don't worry. We won't be raiding anything as I just look at the rain.
Thank you, that's the correct response. His eyes are bulging quite a bit.
Oh no.
He goes to sit down at the table, but he keeps glancing back at Rain. Muttering in Draconic a few times. Who does that? Who just goes and does that?
She just rolls her eyes in Draconic. Well, sometimes it happens.
What, you just happen to read an entire book?
Yeah. It was in my hands.
Lady, you have problems.
It's a book!
Wait, is that a lady? I can't tell. It's got pointy ears.
Make a small. I make a. Cornelius makes a small delay as if kind of considering it as. Yes, it is a lady.
Okay. I'm still haven't learned about all the surface species. Although it's weird they call that a surface species, he points at Kasai, because that's a devil.
Devil ancestry.
How's hell?
I've never been.
Sounds like a really big cave.
No,
No, it's
some
not.
parts would honestly be like,
Actually, as Cornelius going on a spiel about how hell is looking like the books he's read about it.
Alright, that means we're gonna have some rolls here to see who can out-blurb the other.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
It's gonna be intelligence or charisma,
Oh.
depending on what you want to do. Because if you want to tell a grand tale, but if you want to try and be an actually,
Well, I got history as a profession.
yeah, you get history. Rain obviously gets
Okay.
religion. Castalia, do you want to
Yeah.
try and do something on this? Do you want to talk properly about this, considering it's your heritage?
I can talk about my heritage pretty well. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be about, hell itself. Or the different planes.
Talking with a +8 even.
I mean, you could try and
Welcome
stop
to my
Rain from
world,
being the one.
son.
You could tell a more entertaining story of hell. You could try and bullshit your way through it.
I'd rather not.
Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying as an option.
Actually,
I'd probably just be honest about it. I don't know what I know, but
okay, so that
Not a
doesn't sound
lot.
too exciting. Cornelius, what are you gonna say?
Well, Cadiz is just the most driest fucking description of it. Whereas
Okay,
Rain
that's
is probably,
boring.
I imagine Rain is going through the religious, of course, very. I
She's
imagine the
reminding
very,
him at every step of the way, these are the things that you'll experience if you're a bad boy.
yeah.
Okay. See, I
The very
was going to pick
competitive.
whoever was the most interesting and try to be like help that person, but neither of you were interesting. So now can I make Rain's how can I make it so that
Oh, if
Rain
you want to
seems
be
like she's trying to
disruptive and
bullshit?
riff?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna help the person I felt who was interesting, but neither Castalia or Cornelius are really interesting.
Like,
So
it
now I
doesn't
want
matter
to.
if you get. It doesn't
I
matter
wanna
if you
just-
give Rain disadvantage because it's 14 and 14.
No, it's not disadvantage. He is a Bane. He is a D4 against her.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna change what I want to do. I wanna kind of mock Rain, undermine Rain.
It's an interesting tale, but you stumble a few times, giving just enough time for Cornelius to step in with his actually.
Oh yeah, it's
Excellent.
Well, actually.
As you're giving the full spiritual consequences and the full detailed rundown, he is able to chip in now and again on, no, it's the ninth circle, it's like that, no. It's not actually that kind of building, it's just looking like bronze, it's not made from it. He gives all the factual bits to the glorious painting you picture, because Malgern is just sitting there and just kind of, burping occasionally, scratching himself loudly. Just anytime you get to a real peak in your rhetoric, he's just there to be a pain in the arse. Oh, so it's not a big cave.
No.
Be cooler if it was.
There are caves, but it's not one big cave. Another plane.
yeah, one of the 9 planes.
That's where everyone evil goes when they die.
From a history angle.
A full-blown theological discussion breaks out.
What is the definition of evil?
Devil. They're really evil. People say kobold are evil. We're not. I mean, some are.
Some of you.
Actually, quite
Just
a lot
like-
now that I think about it.
Well, not all devils are evil. Just most of them.
Now this is... I can just see fucking Rain twitching her head over to Castalia at that statement. Not all devils are evil. Well, they're the personification of that alignment.
Well, I mean...
Yeah.
the
And
Descendants-
she would point it out. Now, the Descendants, that's different.
Yeah.
Because then they're mixed. But the actual ones, yes.
This is whenever Malgern leans back with Zarzul and she says, alignments are bullshit anyway.
But yeah, devils are evil, but those descended from them can be good as well.
And pretty.
Thank
And then
you.
there is a very large brass mass behind that tiny kobold. Nice try, little guy. It's not my type. Too tall, too much of a boyfriend. Besides, my girl is in jeopardy right now. She might be your wife, as he looks at Zarzul.
He doesn't have a wife. He'd have to share his hoard.
I believe it was one of the offers he had.
Yeah, he said she might be his wife.
Oh yeah, it was more Cornelius asking.
Hey. As he just starts nudging Zarzul. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Why would your wife be his wife?
Well, it's not really
Yeah.
wife, it's who I'm going to meet Egg Quota with, but it's kind of emotional. But she's really good at cleaning up weapons and mining material. So they made an offer that she could be his wife. You know, for the mine. Does he know about the mine? He knows about the mine, right? I can't really tell him to stop talking about the mine because he's very scary. As he points to Kagratz behind him.
Yes, he knows about the mine. Here's how we learned about the mine.
Okay, that's good.
Who's gonna take the money?
Good. Don't take my wife. The money's good. You'll like the money.
Is she also interested in becoming your wife?
You got me. As he just taps his chest. Right here. That word, like a knife.
Hmm.
There's another knock on the door.
I guess the term when it rains it pours, huh?
Do you want to go hide
Is that
somewhere?
your sister?
So-
As he looks to Rain. And pours.
I was gonna say if you'd like to go out the back door so that no one knows you came here.
Oh no, I can be here. It's fine.
Well, he's also going with us, so.
Well, yeah, but I mean it's more of like so that people don't ask why he's here.
Oh, it's okay. I know how to do this. Okay, so everyone close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Okay.
All right.
Off to the kitchen.
All right, that works. I go to answer the door.
There's no one
Yes? Oh. Hmm. I close the door.
there. Did you get back and just start to talk again? Never knock the door.
I go to open the door.
There is no one there.
I look around for a person, place, or thing.
Okay, it's a city, so you see quite a lot of people, places, and things. Would you like to narrow it down? Perhaps look
Like,
for something
but-
specific or out of the ordinary.
Like an animal or something.
Give me a perception check. You see a couple of children scurrying away at quite an inordinate speed.
Oh, hell. I shut the door. But I wait at the door.
You hear a knocking at the door.
I immediately open the door.
The kids are quite close now and running with a scream.
I knew that would work.
So
Why
who
were they
was it?
screaming?
Oh, it was just kids.
Oh.
Ding dong ditch.
That's before. There are no doorbells yet. I mean, there are door and bells, but not
Knock-
a proper system linked up
Knock
to them.
knock ditch.
Although, imagine the horrors of any kind of gnome house with a doorbell.
Oh God.
Why does it blow
Ding,
fire?
boom!
Dad, I don't want to restock the fireworks. Oh, fuck, I know exactly what it would be now that I think about it. It'd be the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory puppet moment. The full musical show.
Oh God.
All right.
Well, let's hope that those will last for today.
I hope so.
Well, I suppose we should probably get the cart packed up then.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As he comes out of the kitchen.
Malcolm, do you wish to bring the magical chest plate along?
Yeah, why not?
Right, well, don't forget to bring it out of the basement then.
The basement.
Yes. In the larder. So
I think he needs to be reminded. I'm imagining there's a pretty wall-eyed look on the dwarf right now.
No, he should figure it out. He doesn't immediately know what the hell Cornelius is talking about. He's like, I said it's a basement. It's not that hard. Keeps going. Doesn't say anything. Just keeps.
Do you think there's something in the water here that's just destroying the mental faculties of the dwarf around here?
That's entirely possible.
What are you talking about? He never drinks water.
Yeah. Bold of you to assume I drink straight water.
Yeah, but you bathe in it sometimes.
Bold of you to assume he bathes.
Sometimes. We were all there for that.
That was
Some of it may have gotten into my mouth. She's right.
That was an upper class bath. It's not the same water as for the ordinaries. Besides, you've seen what's in the water. I know you. You killed it. You left a corpse in the water.
Yeah. That explains a lot, actually.
You also fought its water purification system. And then you also fought the water.
Yes.
There is definitely something in the water in the stout. We
Yes.
know that.
In every fountain.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I almost regret to say this, but should we take a look at the exotic emporium and try to avoid any groinal attachments that he might just want to sell, or detached groins?
If you think that there'd be something good there for usefulness.
There are those magical orbs of the non-testicular variety.
You're quite phallically obsessed, man.
No, the shopkeeper is.
Trust me, I am.
What kind of shop does he run as he looks at Cornelius?
I believe it was a pawn shop, but it seems to be that he has a very particular kind he wants to pawn.
Who sells shellfish?
Anyway,
the breastplate. There's rock music. Guys, it keeps playing the song.
What?
Oh, nobody heard the.
I muted myself.
Okay, never mind. I thought her phone ringer came through.
Oh, nope.
So y'all didn't hear the Rammstein.
She
Like,
sabotaged you.
Comes back.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, back with the breastplate.
Nah, good. Well, yeah, you're probably right. There's probably not a lot there, and probably should just wait until we acquire some funds.
He says that the line echoes and repeats, some funds, as the camera pans and zooms in on Zarzul.
Yeah.
You know what you have. Anyway.
Well, Albinson, I presume you wouldn't mind looking after this place.
Yeah, it's no bother.
Make sure he's got enough money for the rent.
I can't believe you're fucking paying this guy's rent for a house we're not using at the moment.
Hey, we do enough favors, maybe they'll give us a house proper.
Should probably just ask that as the favor, actually. Just ask for an apartment in the Noble's Quarter.
Or just anywhere.
Well, if we could actually get into the nobles' quarters, it might have be more beneficial.
Mm.
We'd have a reason to come and go as we sort of please.
The party finally realized we're sick of this fucking pauper's lifestyle. I want to live in a gated community. I want an exclusive post box.
I want to have decent wine, damn it.
You decadent fucks. I'm sick of living where any ordinary person can knock on my door.
There's a hole in 2 floors.
It almost sounds like he wants a building with a roof over all of it as well.
No, that was fixed.
Yeah,
Luxury.
we have a roof.
Yeah. The hole in the roof was fixed.
How well was it fixed, though?
Very well. It certainly didn't cost the amount he charged you, but, you know, it's very well done.
So look over to the Cobalt. By the way, what is your name? Because we're going to be having to travel for quite a while.
Yobby.
Yoppy. How long do you think it will take us to travel there?
Well, we travel differently. You're doing horse and cart. +2, carry 3. Count for that giant guy. Minus for the tiny dude. Probably about a 10-day. Could be shorter if you made it really fast. Like, can you do magic to the horses?
I'm afraid not.
Then a 10-day.
Alright.
Probably more if a horse gets killed.
I would assume so, yes.
But then probably less again if you find new horses from dudes who have been killed. I guess that evens out, so that probably wouldn't affect the journey time all that much. He continues to count on his claws. But I know all the landmarks.
Take out 200 gold from our funds to hand over to Albinson to pay for rent.
Alright.
Well, let's get the houses packed up then. If there's nothing else for us here.
Well, I mean, a few of you have other things to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
Casalia's at least going to tell her employer she's leaving again.
Yep.
She's been back for a day.
Yep. I'd be telling Horizon that I'm going off again.
I should be coming with you.
I don't know if you're going to want to do this one. Just because the individuals we're helping are being very, what's the word, peculiar about it, and they're terrified of people finding out.
Are you doing something untoward, my lady?
No, I just think that they're really, really dense, and they're freaking out for no reason.
So
We're supposed to save some business opportunity, and I think they're just being ridiculously that, and I think they're trying to price fix, but that's beside the point.
all right. So the next time, then, I guess.
Sure, we'll have to figure out what it is that we're doing next, but hopefully that will be one that will be more where they won't be freaking out every 10 seconds with the idea of somebody finding out.
I know they said the life and adventure is uncertainty, but this is a different way of it, I was thinking.
Yeah. I will admit, I'm not sure why they're so upset, and Zarzul's having an absolute conniption. Because apparently somebody from his clan is there, and he's lost his marbles.
Oh, so it's something to do with kobolds.
Yeah. Zarzul's... I don't know if it's like his family or somebody... An acquaintance of something is there, so... Another Zarzul is there, and apparently he's lost his mind.
Alright then. I will stay here, I suppose.
Hopefully we'll be back shortly, but apparently it's 10 days out.
Unless you want me to go with you.
She kind of does a little shrug. I wouldn't object to you being there. I mean, I would like to have you along. But do you have any business here that would interrupt?
Hmm. It is quite a while, yes. Maybe something closer next time.
I'll agree with that, yes.
Well, good luck. Be safe.
Thank you. And I hope that you're well while we're gone.
Ah, this is a lap of luxury and safety. It's no problem.
She just kind of gives a little laugh and then goes to make her way.
Now for Castalia.
Well, let's see. First, I'm gonna tell Yosef that I'm off to the mines.
Fuck's
We're off to a
sake.
set of mines. Eh, it's the life of adventure.
Like,
The only faithful employee he has.
Exactly. I've got my fucking blood relatives that are a fucking useless thing, but they put in more consistent shifts. What the fuck are you going off again for? You lumbered me with a workload. You've spread my good name around, and now I've got work to do, and you're pissing the fuck off. Leave the hands.
I have to do it for a friend. It's very important to him, and
I'm your employer. For the money I give you, I'm your best friend.
no, my mind is made up. I have to help him.
Alright then, see you later.
All right, I'll see you.
He just gets back to hammering. Don't get killed, I could make use of you sometime. Not as much as your boy, but you know, professionally. And then you go to see the halfling, I imagine.
Yep.
It still throws me off that the official spelling of halfling is LFL. They're a halfling.
Yeah, half fling. Because you pick him up and throw him.
Yeah. Hello. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing quite well, thank you. I've just come to say that I'm going to be away for about a fortnight.
That's alright, I did say that these would take a while.
Mm-hmm. But I also didn't want to, leave you in a situation where you finish them and I'm suddenly not around.
Yeah,
Without
that would be
reason.
an issue. Tell you what, I'll do have a wee bit here. Now, just because I'm intrigued by this project. That's the main thing here. It's a little thing I got from the Fuckle Thumps, so
Hmm.
watch this. It's real nice this here. He sets onto his counter 2 small wooden boxes, like a very dark varnish on them. Not very big, like they could fit a halfling head in them. All right. Now, next we have this, as he brings out one of his tools, a lever crimper. Puts it in one box. Check the other one.
I open the other box.
That's where the lever crimper is.
Oh.
Now, these work quite a long distance. Small objects, mind. And obviously, this is kind of worth more than my entire business and livelihood, as he rubs his hands down the box. It's a very expensive, lovely thing. But I've actually never made use of them once in my whole fucking time of having them. And I think my dad had them too. So I'm going to use them this once. You take that one. I will work on the shoes. I'll pop them in. You pop them out. Unfortunately, it doesn't like flash or anything like that there, so just check them daily to see when they come through.
All right. Does it work both ways?
Aye.
All right.
So you try them on. Maybe put a note in. If they break your ankle or anything like that there, we can adjust, we can fix.
And when I come back, I hand you back this box.
Exactly. And I'll
All right.
finally use them, because they've been far too expensive to actually think about using before, and don't actually know why the family bothered to get these. I mean, they work for shoes, but how often do you get back and forth that much over distance, you know?
I would think maybe if you had a fussy noble who really liked his one pair of shoes.
I get the feeling that one of the Fuckleclumps is just bad at cards. That is my feeling on it.
That's a potential.
But that one's yours for the time being.
All right. Thank you very much. And I offer a hand to shake on it.
His hand is so much smaller. But he shakes.
All right.
All right. And if you don't return the box, I will hunt you down.
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. I say that as a, as a joking sort of way, but I guess I kind of would have to. That's really expensive.
Yes, you made certain of that. You said it was more than your current business.
I only met you like a day ago as well.
That too.
But Yosef is... Okay, because Yosef is vouched... Yeah, I should... He starts reaching towards the box under your arm. Maybe no, okay. Yosef vouched for you, so he's a dwarf, that's fine, it's ironclad, that sort of thing, so, okay. I'll hunt him down then. Okay.
Alright, and I'll make sure this box sees use.
I hope so.
Not abuse, but use.
Yes. Don't put your dick in it.
My what?
No, it's just one of the warnings they gave me on the label. Don't put a dick in it.
Ah. I suppose I'll keep it locked up when people are drunk then.
One night, Malgurin just gets so drunk, puts himself in it, and the halfling just opens up to find a clump of beard.
Oh, God.
While Malgurin pulls his out and just screams. Where'd it go? Why'd you put your beard in? That's how I touch things. It's how I feel my environment. It's like whiskers. You know, with enough pushing and shoving, you could fit a whole kobold in there. They couldn't walk away from it, but they could be put in there. Any other business from the rest of you?
Probably Cornelius just making a sending spell to Adagoon to let him know that we won't be able to talk as we're leaving.
I'll see you at the gate.
Ah. Well, that's fortuitous.
So you're set up, ready to go?
Yep.
Probably a little past midday at this point. All the shuffling of things. Because you've got an antsy kobold that's also sort of catatonic at times, like he's flipping between hyper tense and conked out.
Hmm.
Who's not making things easy because he keeps getting in the way. And you can't always step on him. Like, eventually you feel sympathy. But you set off. And there's a great big bear made out of leaves right in front of you. Big sweep of a paw and a greeting.
Ah, Adagoon, I believe.
Right, what do you want to Barney about?
Well, I want to notify you about some of the plant corruption that we were encountering on our trip. As I pull out the map and point out where we encountered it, especially a nasty one right around here. I regale the tale of the camp we first encountered.
Might as well move to the map.
Yeah, Bird Black Camp.
Right. Yep. He brings out his own map, which has a lot more markers on it.
Is that all blights in the census?
It's not their full radius and whatnot, but would have seen a few bits and pieces heard from a little bird or two. I think they've got another tree set up.
Unfortunately, as Sassul also encountered, some of the birds themselves might be spreading the corruption.
It's not too bad if it's just the wee twiggins. They don't actually make the seeds and all, but it's the big ones that are a problem. That's alright, having to hire on a bunch, because you lot are all laddie-da these days, huh?
I'm gonna say, I guess we have been given a lot of work recently.
Yeah, forgetting where you came from and your friends, of course. So I've had to hire out, get a few more on board. But I knew the loyalties of a fancy man wouldn't last.
Well, what else is it that you were hoping for us to do?
As he just holds up the map and draws his big finger around all the areas he's marked with blights. It's kind of a growing concern, you know what I'm saying?
It is. I'm on board with you on that.
It's one of those things where you just kill one of them, it doesn't really solve the problem.
Well,
Tell you what,
yeah,
since you're so overwhelmed with your guilt at not being able to assist me in keeping this place ecologically sound, I will do you a favour, which I think we'll all agree on. When I find a good idea of where the next tree is, I'll contact yous. First and foremost, I'll put you forward for it.
Thank you.
How very kind of you.
I'm glad I've been able to alleviate this sense of overwhelming guilt you've been feeling, no doubt. Sleepless nights you've had, knowing that you've not been assisting your old pal Adagun.
Ah, yes.
The man who's keeping all of the fucking green in this kingdom alive. Humble man he is. With an important duty. Squeezing deer piss on trees.
Excuse me?
Well, I have to bring the animals back since I've been since a lot of the fucking blights have killed off a bunch of them. Alright, so let me tell you how this works. So you bring in the smaller creatures, the prey. Then you bring in the predators. Then you try to get a decent number of both so that they continue to go in a cycle. If you don't put all of them in each step, then you just get one overeating the rest and then dying out. And unfortunately, when it comes to animals, like that little bastard there as he points at Pufflesworth, piss is their main signal to each other.
That sounds about right.
You can just tell the rest of you that Adagun and Cornelius, if Cornelius was in his ideal situation, he would never have met Adagun. Never have spoken to him. So have a nice trip.
Thank
We'll
you.
try,
and
but no guarantees.
I'll be in
We'll
touch.
dispatch any blights we find.
Good on you. And remember, burn the shit out of them.
Right.
And if you see any of the branch-headed minions and all that there, make sure they're fucking killed too. Don't bury them, burn those as well.
burn, and then burn. Gotcha.
Aye, well, just that lot. You don't want them fucking poisoning the soil.
All right, then. Well, I do believe we need to be off. Good luck with containing what can be contained.
Aye, see you, Zolt. You hear a very muffled little voice. Goodbye! And a whispering from Adigan as you're running away. The fuck were that?
Gave them a jobby. Was it the droop?
No, it was the extra cobalt. It was
Yeah,
yummy.
that's me. Jobby. Yeah.
And you set out once again, and it doesn't feel glorious. It doesn't feel like a majestic adventure because the rain is still going down. Not heavy enough to be dramatic, but not light enough to be ignored either. Also, goddamn this fucking chair. It's not heavy with wind either, it's just a constant pouring. And even though it's noon, the sun might as well not exist in the sky. What a time to set off for an adventure. And as the hours pass on the road, it doesn't fucking change. It's a miserable grey day. At night time, you set up camp. It's still a horrible rainy evening. You obviously don't resume at the burnt blight camp. You settle in another patch of woods. The next few days continue by. But Yobby is there to point you the way. You quickly find yourselves veering off. Upwards. Day upon day passes. There's some signs of a war. Now and again you see a mercenary camp. Of course, as we've seen from a lot of you, you're not that overly sociable, so there's not much mingling. And most of them keep to themselves anyway. As for raiding parties, not a lot seen. A few corpses now and again of both sides. A few boulders that have just been stuck in some roll from the road. And you wouldn't call it peaceful. There is drums, war chants, bellows, horrible amateur music and poetry recitals from the mercenary camps. But day by day it becomes a case of you're hearing less of the civilized and more in the far distance the savage. Then, as you further along north, the weather changes. It had been pretty consistent with its rain, but now it falls lighter, in clumps. White powder starts to choke the distant view. It gets real fucking cold for those who don't have the benefit of an internal heater.
Okay. Zazzle is now bundled up in a lot of blankets.
So is Yobby. He's beside you as an identical pile.
I knew
I
this.
cuddle Pufflesworth.
Good thing I made the investment early on.
Yeah, but winter clothing comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Although, you've got the incongruity that Castalia is either wearing her winter clothes or the dancer's outfit, because that's environmentally sealed. So she'd make you guys feel cold just by looking at her. But in the skimp, she's fine. Or she has to move to about 4 different layers. Just normal clothing and armor doesn't cut it. The nights as well, bitter, chilling. There's a northerly wind blowing through the camps. and there are hideous noises. They sound along the lines of that great roar you heard in the mountains so many months ago. In real time, not game time. And game time is a couple of weeks. Funny that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But you hear the roars of some leonic beast. And then you hear answering calls of something that is not. You couldn't place what those might be. Some sound like they might come from a throat the size of a human. They just don't have the volume and bombacity of it. But they're not human, what's making it. Drums are heard. There's also a strange withering to the area. Like, it's one thing to go through a winter wonderland, but you're seeing effects that remind you of the blight fields in the forests. But it's extending to the soil, to the rocks. Everything just looks decayed and broken. In fact, Malgern, would you like to touch a boulder?
Sure. I guess we'll touch a boulder. That's history, right?
History of advantage.
Yeah, that's a boulder.
It's great that you have advantage on these, isn't it?
Yeah. It's almost like it's needed, you know.
It's an unpleasant thing to feel it. It's brittle.
Ooh, that's not normal.
Like, you're able to just bring in, the back of a hammer, just chip at it. You're not putting a whole lot of pressure on it. You're not even using a chisel for this, but it's breaking away with such ease. And this is meant to be a proper sturdy rock. This is just something that's been sitting out since millennia. And it's just breaking away without much effort. Like, this type of rock, this composition. This should not be just... Like, you should be setting this on fire to make it split apart this quickly. This would take tooling and time.
I'm gonna express my surprise and be like, this isn't right. I don't know if
How
anybody
is it
cares.
not right?
Well, I mean, I just broke it. I mean,
Maybe you're just
this rock's
super
almost as
strong.
weak as you. This rock's almost as weak as you.
Middle finger.
Side-eyeing Rain, yeah.
Shivering middle finger.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a Pufflesworth to keep me warm.
Well, he's leeching your heat.
Yes. And bold of you to assume that he's keeping you warm.
Lorna is not enjoying the cold, but she doesn't seem to show any real sign of discomfort. Just getting annoyed anytime that snow falls on her and reveals which one is the correct Displacer Beast.
So what exactly would that entail that the rock is so fragile?
I mean, normally you have to, like, fire? I don't know.
Yeah, like any proper mining method, anything you know about working stone, this shouldn't do this without, horrible treatment. With proper work and all. Like, you should be chiseling gaps into it, lighting a fire to break up the temperature and wreck it.
Yeah.
But this thing's just crumbling without any of that.
Do this without help.
So perhaps some of this corrupting element can even affect the rocks itself. I'm certain Adagoon is going to be thrilled to know about this.
I've got to go squeezing rock piss onto the ground now. I've got to go find earth elementals and bring them about. Those guys are fucking boring. You know how they say that a rolling stone gathers no moss? That's the most exciting tale those fuckers have ever told.
I want to win so fast.
Once there was a mountain. Way, way back, he was taller because there was more of him. Now there isn't as much of him, so he's shorter. But once, he was really tall.
The end.
I could tell it again. I never get tired of telling that story. It's got a deep moral that we should all know. Fucking Earth elementals. They're so set in their ways.
You know you love it.
I mean, they're not daydreamers. They're very grounded, but they're a fucking pain.
They're very grounded, but
I just said that, yeah. A few more days' travel. Again, Yobby's pointing it out. You're veering off the road now. By your best estimate, you're around here. You camp down for another night. It's only one more day until you get there.
Okay, interesting.
There's noise. There are drums in the distance. There's chanting. There's screaming.
Yabby, is this usual around here?
No, that is a very bad sign. I mean,
I guess we need to be prepared for this.
Well, actually, maybe it is. I haven't been here in a while.
Well, when was the last time you were here?
Just more snow starts to build on his snout. We spend a lot of time underground. There was a king.
Ah, so before all of this recent event happened.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm going to assume this isn't normal then.
Probably not, no. Could be, though. I mean, maybe they just came up with different kinds of music. Although we all know we should be very quiet at the mine and not do anything on the surface to attract attention. Yeah. Really bad, isn't it?
I'm afraid so.
Also, anytime you guys have set camp in the recent few days, you've also felt that sense of brittleness, of withering. Like the grass you scuff across, even though it's mostly dead anyway from the snow, it's just breaking apart on footfalls.
Mm.
You've seen a complete absence of animals. And the trees just, like, they're really good. They're really easy for snapping away for firewood and all. It takes ages to try and get them to light. But they're also not that dull gray of the blights.
So something is making these wither, but it's not the blight.
That is the clear clue I have to give, because you can't see it for yourselves.
Yeah.
Because only so much can be left of the mystery without the players just not knowing.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't come off as a kind of something having a fungal infection or something. It is something else that seems to be killing it.
It's like something sucking the very essence out of the world. That can't be good.
Are you sure? I thought it was fantastic.
Elves. Or this elf at least. I'm worried about our elf.
The morning comes, and like we've established, most of the party aren't really morning people. Not in the in the proud tradition of ways. They're just normal people in that regard. But for the full casters, roll me a d4.
Oh no.
That's just the
Does that
wizard and the
include
wizard.
Ranger?
Nope, full casters,
Yeah.
I said.
Oh,
Then again, he is a cleric, I suppose. Yeah, Zarzul,
Really?
roll a d4 as well.
wait, did mine not roll? Fuck.
Nope, not yet. Ooh,
Why?
that's real bad. Cornelius and Zarzul, you guys awake missing 2 spell slots. Rain, you're missing 1.
Fucking hell.
How many did you say? 2 or 3?
2.
Okay.
And you guys are feeling pretty groggy. Luckily, because Castalia did hers through bullshit contractual means, she's not affected.
So, where do I pick?
Yeah, it's your choice.
Okay.
But you three do not feel right.
Fucking hell. What's going on?
There's a headache, there's a swirling in the stomach, and it just feels like it takes a lot more effort to do things right now. And while you think about that, I'll be back in a second.
In an ironic twist, I will actually not be taking one of my level 1 spell slots because I need shield so goddamn bad.
Shield's a really good spell. I learned that on my Warlock.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I also
I mean,
need
in
to,
my case, it's not that bad.
and I also need to be able to cast mage armor.
Noticing a theme with the spells you want to keep.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking die.
I mean, you don't want to die again.
Yeah,
Oof.
once is enough.
Yeah, you don't want to be indebted to me again. I don't know. Maybe you do want to be indebted to me. Maybe that's your thing.
He's into
No.
it.
Also, to point out who it was that bought the diamonds in the first place.
Technically, he was just using his diamonds.
Gotta get myself a glass of water.
I'm gonna drink my lime Fanta.
That's such a weird take.
And I'm back in play.
And I usually like that kind of stuff. That's weird.
Ugh. Slippery, slimy sound of just applying lubrication for the hands. Skin doesn't break.
Kinky.
Yeah, to certain people, yes. Because everything's a fetish.
Just gotta find a way to monetize it, Corvus.
I think with my skin condition, I now count as some kind of scaly.
Oh, that explains the lizardman.
Nah, it's just fun to roleplay as them. They're ridiculous. You can have no tact and just say whatever works.
I mean, technically anyone can.
Yeah, but with them, you can't blame them for it. And you can also have different things be your priority. Simpler things.
Alright, back again.
Welcome back. Anyone else missing?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Zarzul? Okay, maybe he got a drink.
Did you get a drink, Whipgun? There you go. Just want to make sure that...
Can't hear him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's why I said his name, just to make sure that...
Ah.
Pokemon.
Hmm.
Got it.
You
Getcha.
know what? Let's adjust this, actually.
New Pokemon Snap is out.
There it
I don't
is.
know. Playing it.
Yeah, she was there midnight trying to download it. She was so
Really
hyped.
fucking expensive, too.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Worth it.
I mean, she thinks it's worth it. I think it was overpriced.
Is it working like the same Pokemon Snap, or are you still on a track?
It is the same Pokemon Snap, but
Same
it's
judgment
improved.
system. I've also
Yeah, but
heard that there's no evolutions.
I haven't figured it out. I haven't seen it happen yet, so I mean,
Neither have I.
And you have to do some pretty messed up things for that in Pokemon Snap Original.
Yeah, you had to knock that Charmeleon into the fire.
That's pretty fucked up.
But he became a Charizard.
Tonight on That's Fucked Up.
And he reigned with an iron claw over the other Charmanders.
And he got bonus points.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about snapping the perfect picture.
Made some Voltorbs blow up. They ended their lives just so you could take some photos.
They just faint.
Yep.
Yeah, which puts them at the complete mercy of anything else wandering around.
Okay, that's fair.
That's one thing to get me with the Rune Factory series. They set it up so you're not killing monsters, you're just weakening them enough to get sent back to the Forest of Beginnings. Which really sounds like I took them to a farm up north. But then you get this lovely image, so you're sending all these monsters back to their world. Now, does this spell know where they came from, or does it have one location? Are you just building up a massive unconscious corpse pile that is getting larger as you keep sending more and more monsters out of the dungeon?
Who knows? But if they show up again, probably just back to their home dimension. And then they get retransported back.
Yes.
Which is eternal suffering.
Yeah. Well, that's RPGs for you.
Pretty much.
So are you saying that the happy conclusion are those you use your special petting glove to get them to work on your farm? To work and toil.
Well, it does end their misery of constantly returning home only to be forcibly dragged back and killed again.
Still the weirdest thing about Rune Factory Oceans, where you yourself do not farm. You simply create indentured servitudes of monsters who will continue to work and toil for you day after day for monster cookies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that generally employment?
Well, except they didn't get a choice on if they wanted that job or not.
Isn't that generally employment?
No, the point isn't employment. You really want that job because it has a paycheck attached to it.
Yes.
Webgun, you back yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. So we're all here. So we can begin again. Also, I'm going to tweak it instead. Your magical fatigue instead is going to be you take one slot from that level.
Alright.
I don't know if Zarzul has a third level slot yet.
I have the little spotter slots. I don't have any spells to go in them.
Well, I mean, you could always upcast older ones, but there you go. You've lost a third level slot for now. Yeah, the three of you don't feel good.
I fucking hate my life.
Do you also feel terrible this morning?
You all look like shit. Like, really bad. Are you gonna be able to do this?
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
I'm not convinced. I'm looking at this and like, the dwarf is fine.
Yes.
You
Well,
look terrible.
Well, you can ask yourself this, Cobalt. Is there anyone else you can rely on to help you with this issue?
I'll probably find out after this fails.
I'm glad you have
It
such
won't
confidence.
fail.
We'll be fine. I'm sure it's nothing big. Just the not used to the mountain air.
And of course, there is one other person who is also feeling groggy. His morning day routine sadly impeached. Still a shining beacon. Still something to rally behind and feel great about. But even congrats is seeming a little low. He's not a full caster, but you know he's got spell slots, I'll let it happen. It just makes him weaker.
I was gonna say, at first I was like, are they gonna get a boost? I was like, oh, this is bad.
What'd you say, Cornelius?
I just said it's one less might.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Or some kind of healing benefit.
It's okay. It's a good thing we have a healer for that.
Uh-huh, yeah, you keep telling
we got
yourself
that.
that. Ooh, shots fired.
I'll remember that next time you die.
And she probably is right.
Yeah, I mean, who else is gonna buy diamonds for you?
We cut to the epilogue where Cornelius is on his natural deathbed and Range just fucking poking at him, you bastard. I can't not revive you from this. But breakfast, terrible time. Even with prestidigitation, things have kind of lost their taste, really. Like, it's there, but it's more sort of at the back of a tongue kind of thing. And it just feels lame. Like, there's snow falling. It's not really settling. Like, you see the snow piles around you, but there's also patches where it's just bare earth.
Can I make an Arcana check to kind of figure out what this is? Because at this point, when even the prestidigitation is starting to get affected by it, I think Cornelius is starting to get suspicious.
You can roll an Arcana, yeah.
Can you do it with advantage? If I help him?
See, that is a question, though. If Rain gets involved, would he consider that help? Because you're both in a bad state right now. Is he going to be able to be professional about it, or will his personal bad mood scupper it?
I think it's just more Cornelius just musing to himself, really. It's not him speaking out loud.
You're only saying that because you got a 16 on the first roll.
No.
But yeah, what you're picking up on is the weave is wavy. It does not feel right. Just in general, though, everything here just feels that bit wrong. It's not the same as when you're in the Shadowfell. It doesn't feel like it's all death and decay and weirdness, but none of it feels right. Like, there's still that edge of sort of, there's nothing here. But it doesn't just feel like a straight-up corpse. Like the draining room you were in. Where you met that skeleton infused with precious minerals, which you all spent time breaking open.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I do not want to do that room again.
Yeah, like, you don't have the sense of that kind of draining sensation, but it just feels bad. And you can't really place something more specific than that. Like, you're able to sort of do a little, you do a few cantrips to test yourself out, and it's not hard to draw on the weave, but it just feels like there isn't much to pull on. But it doesn't feel like it's just the weave that's the issue. Like whenever you're digging your heel against the ground, it's breaking away. You're able to get yourself into the dry dirt very easily, even though, like for snow all around, this should be a bit, sodden, a bit wet. And the snow itself, like, very quickly you get numb fingers touching it. It feels, in a weird way, extra cold. Like, it's always going to be cold, of course, but it just feels like it's got that bit more behind it. Like you're losing sensations faster.
Yeah. How is Droop looking?
Droopy. He rolled a d8 for his.
Oh, God. You're doing all right there, Droop?
I kind of want to throw up, but I don't have anything to get out.
Well, try to get something inside you anyway. I know it's rough, but...
Feels like it's just gonna come out really quickly, though.
Rain, congrats to you. Think you can take a look at him?
Yeah, hold on. Should I try a medicine check?
Yeah, if you want. If you give him a checkup. However, do you have a lollipop to give him afterwards?
No.
Then you're just not doing it right.
We don't have bum ba bum ba 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 bum bum ba 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 to give the candy.
Orbinson, meanwhile, is riding that high. Just sugar everywhere for all his ladies.
Oh, wait, actually... I can hand the Droop over the one that I got from Oleg and Olengay.
Yeah,
Gain Ole.
you probe around on him,
Yeah,
and you're not an expert on goblin biology and all. Like, it's mainly the same sort of things. They don't have anything weird. Like, the 4 hearts are pumping away fine. But yeah, as you prod around on him, and get a few giggles at him from being ticklish, nothing seems wrong with him. All the palpitations are fine. He doesn't seem sore anywhere. He just feels to be... as you just look at his face, you just feel the same as he does.
Okay, it's okay, Droop. You're just like the rest of us.
Oh no, it's
Right
spread
now.
to all of us. We're gonna die of plague.
It's not a plague, Droop. It's just a slightly...
I've read about this. They called it the spell plague.
No, Droop. This is a different thing.
I want to be a wizard. I don't want to stop being a wizard.
Is the
No,
grass
Droop.
still that kind of crinkly, crunchy?
Yep. What
Do you
little
think
birds?
these two ordeals are related?
Yes.
Do you want to debate that a bit more? Share opinions? I mean, Castelli and Rain really haven't spoken to each other at all in the adventure.
We just did.
Yes. This is session 98.
We've talked. I know, I talked to her patron.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to a patron.
With her, I had to talk to her to figure out about the patron.
Well, we also don't really share many subjects of interest.
I mean, you're both casters with very shady elements to you.
Well, technically, I'm a packed magic user.
Yeah, but you're a caster of the arcane.
I'm a dabbler of the arcane, yes.
And you're just as shady as the necromancer there.
Where's the necromancer? I don't see any necromancer.
Well,
Denial is just one stage.
You will need a mirror.
I don't think John came with us.
You could have
No,
asked.
like I said, you will need a mirror. Here, let me help
No.
you.
He
We
conjures
have a
mirror.
mirror. It does the makeup. Rain does her makeup.
Well, it just makes sense because it looks like nature's suffering, and it looks like you guys were fine the first couple of days, and now we bedded down here, and you all wake up looking pretty bad. And speaking of being ill,
Something has weakened our connection with the weed. And it's making us ill. So it's okay, Droop. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine later.
Am I gonna stop being a wizard?
No,
No.
Droop.
Is this sucking the magic out of me?
No, that's not how this works. It's okay, Droop.
Well,
Well,
I
it's-
mean, he might not be wrong, but I don't think it's permanent.
No,
No, that's not
That's-
how that works.
right now, from what I kind of says, there is something disrupting the weave, and it is hard to get a grasp on it. But it is not leaving us per se, Drew. If we were to go back, it would be just as normal. Right now, it would be like when you travel far higher up into the mountain and you have a hard time breathing because the air is much thinner. Basically, it's the same thing that's happening, but apparently it only happens to some of us of magical affiliation, though Castelli, you seem to be doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
Just picture the smuggest devil.
Yes, I'm-
Zazzle's going to take out his bow and have a look at it and make sure it's all right.
It works.
Good. So it's not
I mean,
affecting
the
magical
cle-
items.
I mean, the
yet.
clear way you can see that magic items are working is rain.
Oh yeah, her clothes.
Yeah.
and the flowers.
Well, this
Yep.
affected her dress. Just turns into shoulder pads if magic doesn't work.
Ah, true.
Yeah. And then I'm half naked.
Hmm.
Then she has to go back to the maid outfit, despite having the full formal gown that was not worn at the full formal event.
I wonder if this is also what's affecting at the mines.
We don't really have wizards there or anything.
Well, we'll know when we get there, I guess.
Although if this does happen,
You've witnessed this before?
oh yeah. Anytime they bring up someone who's got a bit of a wisdom.
So this has happened for a long time.
Sure.
I think he told us he hadn't been there very often.
Yeah, like, I spend a lot of time underground. You don't see much of the sun moving.
Well, yes, but I was no, you won't. Never mind.
So, like lots of work shifts. And then sleep, and eat, and work shift. Yeah. It's a lot of those to count. Too many of those to count to work out like how much is in a day. Plus, there's this guy that I swap shifts with quite a lot. He usually gets really good shifts in good places.
Say, Castelli, do you have any? Could you try and fire off one of your cantrips? Try and see if there's any effect.
Certainly. And with
Yeah.
that, let me make sure. I can do Mage Hand.
Did you recently get this?
Huh?
Mage Hand? I don't remember you having that for a little.
No, I've had Mage Hand for a bit.
Just don't remember you casting it.
I haven't cast it very much now.
Yeah. Well, for fun, since you all have an idea of what her patron looks like, it looks like one of his hands, his massive clawed hands, although compressed down. But, you look at your mage hand, and it is the Cornelius, and it is a cultured grip.
Yeah.
This, you don't want this touching any... Like, this is the kind of hand you imagine coming over the end of your bed to grab at your foot that's exposed. But
Seems
it
to be
works.
fine.
Yeah.
Let me just, as I try and use my own mage hand and try to grab onto hers to kind of get an idea of there's any effect like strength to the pull or anything.
Oh, cool. Fun
Yeah.
war. Magical fun war. Yeah, it's fine. Like, it is. It takes a bit more effort to try and conjure up the energies you need for the spell. Castalia, for you, was fine. But like Cornelius, it didn't feel like, it's not a case of it's exhausting or it's taxing or anything. It's just, I need to work that back a little bit longer. Like, usually that's instant, but here I had to move my hands just a bit more, get the jazz hands going. But whenever you conjure it and have it against her mage hand, they seem equally matched. Although, actually, yours has a bit more dexterity to it, a bit more fluidity.
Alright, so seems like it's more the drawing than the power itself. The charge up. The spell seems to be taking longer than usual.
When you release a spell, on the other hand, the snow falling around you just seems to crumble away.
Interesting.
It is like an inch or two radius around you.
Does the snow actually look like? Is it actually snow? Or is it something that looks like snow?
Well, you know what you have to do for that, Zarzul.
Yep. Let's do this.
Then.
It's nature time.
Well, no, I was just saying he's got to fucking eat it.
Oh.
Stick out your tongue, open your mouth.
I'm gonna do nature first.
What is snow? Is it water? Is it just the flakings of birds? But what are birds? We just don't know.
It's a dandruff from the gods.
Could it just be pieces of the sky falling away, like painting?
Well,
Sending a
definitely not putting that in my mouth, then. It ain't water. Maybe,
Is it just
maybe I think it is.
Is it just the fragile scales of a great but very tiny, invisible sky dragon?
I don't know whether the Zazzles ever had to deal with snow before.
Probably.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I imagine Zazzle probably encountered snow, but we're living in a mountain or cave area.
Possibly, yeah.
But I mean, there's only so much you can tell from touch and look. I mean, it feels like snow. Feels like the great frozen ice powder. Frozen water powder.
Okay, I'm gonna risk giving it a taste.
Your tongue gets a little numb in the place where you put it.
Tongue is in felt chill numb or a different type of numb?
Yeah, chilled. You can feel the cold touching you. You sort of miss, like, you're too numb to notice the point where it melts and becomes water.
I'm gonna. I don't know whether I should or not, but can I put a bit of the snow in a pot and see if it turns into water?
I mean, you'll have to scoop some up, but sure. It leaches through your mittens. It's very cold.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm just. If it's deep enough, I'll just scoop it up with the pot.
Yeah. Easy enough. I mean, there's a few bits of twig and all in it, but that's easily picked out. And it takes a bit longer than you're used to for it to go into water.
But it does turn into water.
Like, this is, a couple of handfuls of snow, but it's taking a few minutes to become water. Over a fire.
Ew. Guys, I don't like the snow.
What's wrong with it?
Of course, it's
Yellow?
rough and it gets
No,
everywhere.
It's yellow, isn't it?
No, it's not yellow.
It does seem to be taken up abnormally long time to melt.
Hmm.
Did also feel, when I was touching it before, colder than usual snow.
So, by the way, all the people in my mind are probably getting slaughtered right now. While you're talking about the fucking snow? I'm just putting that out there.
I thought we'd be discussing this as we were moving along.
Yes. Let's do this.
I like that idea.
I like that idea as well. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Does this happen anytime you guys discover something? Let's have a debate.
Yes.
Forget the fact that there's
Yeah.
probably screaming over there.
Yeah. We'll get to the screaming later.
Now this goes down the report. Legitly, he pulls something out to start scribbling in it. Have attention span of squirrel who can smell cats nearby without
Is that a squirrel over
sense
there?
of self-preservation. He is saying this aloud while he's writing it.
Oh, neat.
I thought this would be like, just a small conversation before we set off.
Obviously not.
To be fair, he's got a different view of the situation.
True. Hmm.
And as you start to trundle off forwards towards the mine, there is clear evidence of tracks of travel, of presence of creatures. You're seeing large paw pads digging through the ground.
Hmm.
You're seeing disrupted snowdrifts where wings have beat. You see cloven hooves with great massive strides.
Okay, so it's not our group. We're not going in circles.
You see the back of a
Why not?
wagon ahead of you, and inside is some shitty little owlbear staring at you.
Oh no, I was just more concerned that Lorna was leaving footprints behind and we were just circling around.
I know she's been, as always, exceedingly lazy. If she was a cat, she'd be a lap cat.
The best kind of cat.
But she's not a cat. It's a very important thing to point out, is she is not a cat.
Yeah, you said that already.
Yep.
I know it's doing this.
Well, then enlighten us.
Well, you have the footprints, the paw prints, and this snow. We fought some things that have the paw and hooves, and they were with magical people.
Mm-hmm.
However, before you spell it out, you could have Zarzul roll nature.
As if that'd help anything. Okay, let's do it.
You'll be surprised. See?
You recognize some of this, yes. You are on the save wavelength as a tiefling. You also happen to glance at the map and notice you're quite close to Alchemia. So you can make an informed guess. You know, there's a pretty good chance of being correct here.
Okay.
Well, looks like we'll be helping out Atticune after all.
Oh.
Do you remember what he said?
Yes, I was making an O as in please elaborate.
We're going to have to deal with the Alchemians, and they're the ones who have been bringing the lights down.
Hmm.
And he told us to kill them and burn them.
Yes, I remember that part.
Well, so that's probably what's happening at the mines. Or at least some side effect of their magic.
Maybe. That'll certainly be interesting to see if there's any answer as to what is happening to the air around here.
Well, I am open for other ideas if anyone has any.
Well, we should probably go forward and see where it brings us, assuming this is the direction we are going anyway. I assume the tracks are going the direction we're going.
They are, yes. I mean, they're going a few other directions as well, but the greatest predominance of them are going that way.
Yeah. But we should be keeping an eye out.
Mm-hmm. Full attention, everyone.
Indeedy. And just so we don't have to have, you guys going off the map like several times, we're going to say it's very dark right now. It's nighttime by the time you get there. Because that's the issue whenever you have... Like, no one who makes maps really thinks about the size of the range of spells and attacks. Like, if you got one spell sniper, it could be, was it 240 feet, I think?
Yeah.
With Firebolt. That's quite a distance to cover. Not a lot of maps are made to that size. So we're going to say you get there by nighttime. Luckily, pretty much everyone is covered for night vision.
Except for the wizard and the dragonborn.
Yep. Because it's one of those parties. Let's see, let's double check. Gotta be on pointer, that's right. And I gotta drag some icons over. Let's see, who all do we need here? Been a while since I've grabbed this bunch. Is there a, let's see, Droop. Pufflesworth. Is there a Malgurn here? I don't think there is. Which is weird. This used to be the arena map. But let's... Oh, there is a Malgurn there. Okay. And it's still doing that weird glitch. Even on the good computer, it's still doing a glitch where it's not being revealed properly. So there's most of the party. Okay, Lorna was not on this map. That's why her token isn't here. For purposes of simplicity. Let's see here. Home Sweet Home, that has a Lorna token, doesn't it? No, it does not. What the fuck? Does map have it? Fucking pets, it's always hard to keep track of them. When was the last time you had a Displacer Beast here? Oh well, doesn't matter.
Don't look at me, man.
But yes, there is horrible noises from up ahead. And you've gotten to the point where it's time to get out of the cart, you know? It's time to dismount and mingle. It's still pretty deeply forested. Let's get Yobby in here. There we go. In the prize leadership position.
Oh, because now you just changed icon.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, through some of the horribly bare and open forested bits, and then you're getting into clumps of rock. Again, like you don't want to strike them really to give yourself away, Malgurn, but you can feel that these are not healthy rocks. But there are spoil piles for you to mingle in between. Might be time to try and get sneaky.
I don't want to sneak.
You have the option not to.
Yeah, let comedy rolls.
Wait a minute.
Damn it.
You're not wearing your elven splint. You gotta roll again.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah.
You don't get that 16. Give that back.
Yeah, I get a 13.
There we go.
I get a 9.
Could be
Could
worse.
always be- Yeah.
I
Yep.
get the 8. Oh, Cornelius gets a 6. I'm not as bad, okay?
Hang on, though. Hey. The Gratz did better.
What about Pufflesworth?
I mean, if you really want to bring that evil on you, sure.
He's
You
got
want to bring that evil on us?
There we go. He's a disadvantage because he's a shit.
Cecil looks back at the group and goes,
Lorna is slightly less. Well, just... Yeah, Zarzul. You don't even notice he's there. So, for your benefit, I'm going to bring up where the only bits of cover are.
Ooh.
Let's make a rock. Why not?
I got a rock.
Let's see, and be on the map and background layer. So there we go. A 2x2 there. 2x4 here.
And then a 7.
And a 2x1 there. There you go. She can afford to spread out a bit. Luckily, these guys are currently a bit occupied. Plus, we're not really going to kick off a fight because we've got 10 minutes left in the session.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let you see what you're about to deal with. No, don't be darkness. I clicked reveal. Why is that laggy these days? But yes, you witness quite a lot going on at the mine entrance.
Oh, boy.
Oh, bye.
That's
There-
a lot of dead kobolds.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead kobolds. There's a lot of alchemians. There are some demons. There are some of their buff centaurs. A couple of manticores as well.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, but you've also got a wizard with fireball.
Yeah.
So in one cast, this becomes less people.
They've got a lot of people, but we've got war crimes.
We've got indiscriminate.
Yeah.
Just fireball. Just fireball.
He has no morals. It's fine.
they may have fireball as well, though, so we better watch out for that one.
It's okay, Malgurin. Go beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, Malgurin, that guy said you're a prick. He's probably
Yeah.
right, but he said that.
He does.
When's that ever backfired on you? Huh?
You have
When
to-
out of the 3 times has that backfired all
Did you
3
have to-
times?
Did you have to add that second part, though? Did you really have to go that far?
But yes, that is a lot of dead kobolds.
Yeah. How does Zarzul feel about this?
Not good.
They're dead kobolds. I mean, that happens.
Well, I see a few high priority targets.
But yes,
Oh
we
god, one of the kobolds is coming. Oh wait, he's on our side.
But yes,
I was,
we'll...
talking, I was talking about the few ones that have more recognizable facial tokens.
Yes.
The cats. Yeah.
No. No.
3 of them.
I know,
Lower
yeah.
Things.
Like
Uh,
especially the
Monster
one,
spotted.
the one to the west, below the Manticore, sitting on the what look like little carts or little boxes. I remember that one very well.
Let's see if I can.
I don't think you do.
Yes, I do.
Because the 2 front ones are just the very buff barbarian types.
No.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of
No.
those tokens.
That one.
This one with a fancier headdress, that's the shaman.
Oh, I just saw this one.
No.
I don't know. That was the one. That was the one of those that drew horribly exploded the lightning. Oh Jesus, he's huge.
He's pretty big, yeah.
Oh, I see pointy ears. It's gonna go down.
Yeah, these are elves,
Yeah.
don't forget.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
Some fucking great art.
Yeah, that is very nice art.
But yes, we'll get to this fight and roll initiative on it next week.
Ugh.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Yeah. And there will be much rejoicing.
And don't forget, you've also got a mine to get into.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Looks like the kobolds have at least kept them out of the mine, so hopefully there's nothing too dangerous in there.
Yeah, but these kobolds killed by those outside, or are they trying to escape something from the inside?
Oh.
They took deep too greedily.
We were just
Kobolds
copying the
are not
beardy
dwarves.
ones.
You guys suck at it. Trust me, I know these things. You guys suck.
I don't know, you think about this. If they dig too deep and a whole bunch of them get killed, what's lost? If a bunch of dwarves get killed, value is missed.
Okay, you make a point.
It's like having canaries in cages, but they can also carry picks. But yes, that'll do for tonight's session. You have to look forward to this next week, and whatever else follows. It's been a while since there's been a combat.
Yeah.
And yes, the party will face off against an alchemy and war band next time.
Oof.
Now to click stop streaming.